Today we're back on the 78 C10 for the last time. If you watched the first video that we did on this one, we said that we were going to wire this one up the easy way, and that's what we're going to do today. I haven't done any wiring on this truck at all. It's completely done. Everything is in its place, and that's as far as I've gotten. So now I just have to hook up 3 wires, and we're going to have this thing running. So like I said, it's the easy way. Well, the easy way is to use the original underhood fuse panel that came with that engine or with the truck or however you bought it or whatever. If you don't have them, you can get them, no problem. But in order to do this, all you need is the harness, this. The rest of the box is nice if you got that. This is connector number 3, it's red. And this is connector number 1, right?
Yep.
Okay, and the other connector that we've dealt with is the one that comes from the ECM, and it is connector number 2. And you have to do absolutely nothing to that connector other than plug it in. And like I said, 3 wires and we're ready to go. So let's do it, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, so like I said, the only thing I did, we took this out of an 85 or 2005 Suburban. So I've got all the original wire harness and everything. This is the box that fuse box sits in. This is the connector number 2. Goes to the engine and goes to the ECM. So everything is just sitting there ready to get plugged in is all. But we've got to connect it to the 1978 Chevy truck. And in order to do that, the pink, or what color do you call that?
I think it's pink.
I say it's tan.
Whatever.
Pink or tan. That one used to go to the HEI, and it is now going to go to the pink wire A9 and connector number 1. And then we have a purple wire. And you know where the purple wire went, right?
The starter.
That's right. So the purple wire on these Chevy trucks, they always went down to the starter solenoid to engage the starter. It won't do that anymore. It will go to same connector number 1, A3 in that connector, and it's a big yellow wire. And that is what will start this truck now, the computer and the relays that are already in that box, okay? Then in that red connector, that will feed our fuel pump, and those are the only 3 wires that you need to do to get this LS to run. Okay. Of course, there are other wires that we'll have to mess with, but if you just want to get them to run, that's all you need.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Also, the truck right now, it doesn't have any power going into the actual truck to feed the ignition or anything inside the cab. So the red wire that goes into the fuse box on this one, it normally come out and it would go to this junction box, okay? And it was protected by some fusible links that were down on the battery wire on the starter, because that's how it got power from that wire from the starter. But that wire's not there anymore, so we're gonna run this one to lug number 2 on that, and lug number 2 is hot at all times. Okay, so that would be the equivalent of having this thing run down to your starter wire.
Awesome.
Okay, let's do that one first then. All right.
Okay.
So let's put this thing in here so we kind of have an idea. Like I said, connector number 2, we're not going to do anything at all with it. There's no wires that we have to mess with, so we can go ahead and plug it in. These things get screwed in by a 7mm bolt. Okay. All right. So, and then when I do these, the large wires that go to the main lug that powers this up. I just leave them off for last. It's made to flip over like that, so you can work on it. So that's pretty cool. So we need to do we'll do a power wire to lug number 2. You want to make sure that that's got power all the time. By checking it with an ohm meter from here to there, that's going to let me know that it's got power always. I checked it, and we're going to protect that wire with fusible link. I like fusible links. The fusible link that I have here, it's borderline maybe a pinch too small. So I'm going to double it up, use 2 of them. Okay?
Cool.
Okay. Did you hear that train? Huh?
My goodness. What was it? Oh. You gonna get it? Go get it.
I don't like trains.
She hates trains.
Oh, so these things were kind of doubled up too down on the original ones. They put them down like in the oiliest spot in the world on a small block Chevy, right underneath the valve covers, and it would be a giant mess right there. And then you'd go down, and these would just be like the coating on them would be gone, and it was terrible. So, oh, that's my story for the day. Somebody sent us these solder connections, so I'm gonna give them a try, see how they work.
It's pretty sweet.
So technically, I guess we're going to be hooking up 4 wires to get this thing going.
Technically.
Right?
How many solders do you think we've shown?
2.
Just 2? Same 2 over and over?
Mm-hmm. If we had a subscriber for every clamp or solder that we did,
Yeah.
we would be at 1 million already.
Yeah, so where are the clamp and solder fans at?
Yeah. It's got to be out there.
Oh, yeah.
This wire, talking about fusible links, the wire that comes off the alternator on these and goes down to the lug on the distribution box there, that's a fusible link too.
Oh.
So like on this one, we left a battery in the stock spot, so I'm having to run a new power lead over to this fuse box, which is this one here, but it's just a lead coming over from the battery. And if you were redoing that one, if you didn't know that was a fusible link, you would you can't really just go and replace it with like a 6-gauge wire, and that you wouldn't want to do that. It's got to have some kind of protection on it. If you look real close on them, the wire, it says fusible link on it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It looks nicer than putting a glass fuse in there. Even like on an alternator there, like what are you gonna do? You're gonna have a fuse in between there, because it just wouldn't,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be right. So.
It's a lot cleaner look, I guess.
Yeah. Cleaner
Cleaner.
and meaner.
Cleaner and meaner.
Okay, so now when we hook up the battery, it's going to have power going into the truck at all times like it's supposed to. Okay, so let's do the, what do you want to do, the fuel pump one first or the other two?
Yeah, if we do the fuel pump, we can just put that connector in and be done with it.
Okay, fuel pump it is.
Yay.
All right, so on a powertrain management
Wiring
diagram for this engine, it said connector number 3, and it is F1. So it's going to be the first one. So it's going to be this one, okay? A, B, C, D, E, F, 1, okay? And it is gray.
Cool.
Huh.
That's nice.
It's weird. So this wire is the wire that, after the computer does all its magic and turns the fuel pump relay on, this is the wire that actually goes down and feeds power to the fuel pump. Okay?
Cool.
And like I said in the other videos, very important to do it that way. Make sure it goes through the computer.
Yeah. Yeah, you want the PCM to control it.
Yeah.
Because if there is an issue, the PCM will shut it down.
Yeah. And the biggest thing would be an accident.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
Because you do not want to have your fuel pump running if you're in an accident.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm gonna take the rest of the wires out of this because we don't need them. I'm gonna keep them. So later on, if we need to add something to it, we can. It's gonna be kind of a lonely connector in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's it.
All right.
Keep these wires, take them in the house, put them in the silverware drawer or something,
Yeah.
put them in a safe spot.
Underwear drawer.
Underwear?
Yeah.
Okay, so on this thing, our fuel pump is this wire. So should we do another solder connection?
Sure.
It's the only thing I don't like about those solder connectors is the way they look afterwards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
put some black heat shrink over it. It'll look pretty cool.
Yeah. That's nice.
Thanks again for letting us use your hairdryer.
No problem.
I did try that on some different wires, so I'm not experimenting with a customer's vehicle. I did some, and then I tried pulling them apart and making sure they had a good connection. So they do work. I like them so far. Okay, so this goes in one spot only, right? Okay, so that's a no-brainer. It's perfect for me. All right, so the wire for the fuel pump, it's done.
Yay.
Okay, so now we're going to deal with connector number 1, which is white. Let's see, let's do, which one you want to do first? Let's do the hot and run and start.
Okay.
Okay, so hot and run and start is it's a pink wire, all right?
Okay.
And it is, according to the wire diagram, A9. So, A, first row here, remember we're doing them upside down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Flip it over. giant pink wire.
Cool.
Okay. So our wire that came out of the truck that used to go to the HEI distributor, it will be hot in run and start, and we're going to use that one to basically tell the computer that we've just turned the key on. Okay?
Sounds great.
Does sound great. Okay. I'm doing it exactly. I actually got online and saw how it was supposed to be done.
You're following the instructions?
That's why your hair gets so curly.
Mm-hmm. Crispy.
Yes. Alright, okay. So that one was finished. So that's the one that's going to fire up the ECM. Let it know we're turning it on. Now we're going to do A3. It's yellow. So 1, 2, 3 on row A. And sure enough, it's yellow.
Cool.
Okay. So the purple wire that used to go down to the starter solenoid, that's the one we're going to use to go to that one. Fancy soldered butt connector.
All right, you said butt.
Oh, turn it. Okay. All right, so that is it. I got to get rid of all these other pesky wires, but I normally would have gone ahead and taken all these out, but I guess I just wanted to show what it actually looks like. What you're starting with.
Yeah, because I think that's the most intimidating thing about using the original harness for a lot of people, is that you pop the hood and there's so many wires. You know, and you get like the needle in the haystack feeling, you know?
Yeah.
But in reality, you know, once you're comfortable looking at a wiring diagram, it's a small handful of wires that actually makes things.
Makes this thing go.
Yeah.
Oh man, why are there so many wires?
I don't know.
All right, so there is our connector number 1, and it only has 2 wires going into it.
Okay.
There's our connector number 3 that we did. It had 1 wire going into it for the fuel pump. So let's plug it into the back of this baby. And tighten it down. All right.
Alrighty.
Okay. So fold everything in nicely. This is a 6-gauge wire that I ran from the battery over there. The battery on any other would be sitting right here, and the lug just goes right to that one. This is the new wire that I made to go down to this junction box, which is getting the alternator power. And then this one here runs the cooling fans. So, and those, the cooling fan one goes to hot at all times lug, which is that one. That's how people describe me a lot.
What's that?
Hot at all times.
Yep. I've heard that.
Good.
Awesome.
All right, so technically we did 4 wires since we had to hook that one up too. And at that point, this truck will start and run. Everything will be fine on it. So thanks for watching the video. We'll get you. Oh, we should start it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the best part.
Let's grab the scan tool. We'll plug the scan tool into it. See how it runs.
Cool.
Okay, so we're gonna start this thing for the first time after hooking up 4 wires. We sent the computer out, of course. The security system's been removed from it. And then what emissions we're not using, it was removed from it also. I got my temporary plug going for my scan tool. We're gonna take a look at it when it fires up. I bet it's gonna have a little bit of noise as long as it's sat.
Yeah.
This motor sat on our floor back there for quite a few months, so without running, and we've actually never seen this one run, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It's always nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Oh, the key's gotta be out.
Oh.
Uh-oh. It made noises.
Uh-oh. Things are happening.
Oh, yeah, another thing. This engine is an LM7, but it has all the L59, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's got an L59 intake and wiring harness, but it's actually an LM7. Some of the flex fuel motors, you got to go in and relearn the fuel trim on them. So if you have the ability to do that, just do it. I'm going to do it right now, just to have it done.
Is it something you have to have a scan tool for? Or?
Yeah. So, like on this one here, fuel trim reset command. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. So fuel trim is reset. I had to do that on that DOD delete. When we fired that thing up, it was running too rich, and I reset it, and it worked perfectly after doing that. So
cool.
Probably didn't need to do it on this one, but it doesn't hurt. Now it's starting from scratch. It's going to relearn everything. Cheers.
Do it. Cheers.
There you go.
Here we go.
Ready?
Ready. Remember to put transmission fluid in it. Yeah.
That's something to people forget all the time.
Yeah.
It just kind of flips your mind that you'd done that and didn't have any training fluid in it.
Yeah. Power steering fluid.
Power steering fluid, yeah.
Yeah.
Engine oil. Make sure it has engine oil in it.
Yeah.
162 degrees right now. These are the oxygen sensors. They're reading in millivolts and they're reacting really nice and fast. They're going from, you know, down to nothing all the way maxed out. So that's what you want to see oxygen sensors doing. And this is short-term fuel trim. That's fuel being subtracted, and then as it goes to a positive number, it's adding more fuel to make up for those oxygen sensor readings. And then your mass airflow, almost a pound a minute, which is right in line with a normal idle for this engine. So
Awesome.
if you're not familiar with that stuff, look at that stuff, and then when something happens and it doesn't work, you can look at something and go, oh, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
So you get familiarized with it. Man, that sounds good.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So that's definitely the easy way to wire up one of these and make it run. Of course, there's still some wiring to do, make the gauges work, things like that. You'll need whatever your donor motor is and whatever you're working on, a wiring diagram for whatever you're doing, but that's pretty basic stuff. So hopefully seeing something like that, maybe it'll inspire you to get out there and do the same thing to your old vehicle or whatever it is. So thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Please subscribe if you would, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.